Good evening. Welcome to the Metaverse. Welcome to the first talk in our NFT 101 showcase. Before we start on what will surely be a great conversation tonight, just a few guidelines. Just a reminder that we will have a Q&A session at the end of this talk. So please feel free to type in your questions at the Q&A button, and one of our moderators will read it out through the course of the talk. I'm Tricky Lopa. I am the co-founder of Art Fair Philippines. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. The NFT 101 showcase is part of Art Fair PH projects, which is co-presented by BPI, the Bank of the Philippine Islands. We'd also like to thank our educational partners in the talk series, the Ateneo Art Gallery, Museum Foundation of the Philippines, and Art Review. When we decided to focus on digital art for Art Fair Philippines 2021, we thought it would be a great way to reach out to Filipino artists working in the digital sphere. What I found out through the course of putting this section of the fair together is that the Philippines has quite a vibrant, strong, very active crypto art community, and you will be meeting 3 artists working in this space tonight. We will be in conversation with our two curators of our NFT 101 showcase. Let me introduce them to you. The first is Chris Fussner of Tropical Futures Institute. Tropical Futures Institute is a think tank based in Cebu, and Chris has taken their programming to places such as Art Dubai, to art events such as Art Dubai, Sea Focus, and of course Art Fair Philippines. Our other curator for the NFT 101 showcase is Gabby Dizon. Gabby co-owns Nara Gallery, which is a virtual gallery in Decentraland. He has also been in the digital space for the past 20 years. He is the founder of Altitude Games and Yield Guild Games, and he has been into NFTs since 2018. So welcome, Chris and Gabby, and I will leave it up to you guys to carry on. Thank you.
Thanks, Tricky.
Thank you, Tricky. Thank you. I'm just gonna quickly introduce myself and give a little word of context behind the section, Welcome to the Metaverse. So hey everyone, good evening. So I'm Chris of Tropical Futures Institute, and so we're a multidisciplinary think tank and studio engaging in cultural production and research related to things like residencies, parties, art and design shows, as well as representing artists at art fairs around the world. We've recently started to hop into some curation, co-curating a show at the National Gallery of Singapore this last January. And as of right now, co-curating the NFT section for Art Fair Philippines. So thankfully, a couple months ago, my trollish Instagram name led Tricky to DM me, which is DJ Blockchain Algorithms, and asked me about NFTs, which I was exploring at the time. And that's where I roped in Colin and Gabby, as I was lurking in this chat server called Crypto PH, and just basically stalking their activity in the NFT and crypto space. And we still haven't met in person, by the way, so hopefully that changes soon. And then my crypto journey started in 2014, researching decentralized mesh networks, which then led me to Bitcoin. And then 7 years later, I'm finally combining my interest in crypto with my cultural practice through this project here with Art Fair Philippines. And then in the NFT space, I mainly serve as more of a translator, I think, between these two worlds. And I'm more of a macro ecosystem participant, engaging the space from like art, design, gaming, and finance. So just a quick word about the program. The objective of this program is to introduce as many different voices surrounding the NFT and crypto art space for us to get a better understanding of this nascent technology that has taken our world by storm. We have voices from the crypto PH community, early Filipino crypto art adopters, as well as international veteran blockchain artists and art world voices exploring the crypto art space. So over the next few days, we hope we can add to your existing knowledge of the space, or for those of you that are new, help create a better understanding and more informed opinions. So we as collectors, artists, organizers, curators, designers, art handlers, and patrons may engage in this new technology and creative ecosystem responsibly. NFTs are certainly in a bubble as the entire cryptocurrency market has run up over the last year, entering a potential super cycle. However, there are definitely novel and sociological innovations embedded within this hype that will have long-lasting implications after the cool down. And with that, would like to hand it over to you, Gabby.
Thanks, Chris. So a very short background about myself. My name is Gabby Dizon. I'm a software entrepreneur in the gaming and blockchain space. I've been making games for almost the last 2 decades. Got into crypto in 2017 when we heard about Ethereum and the concept of smart contracts. So it was from there that I discovered NFT through games. And then from there, started discovering larger use cases of cryptocurrency, NFTs, and blockchain. I've been doing NFTs since 2018, discovered crypto art in late 2019, and started collecting in a big way last year. And it was then while I was collecting crypto art that I found a lot of people around the world that are working in this space. And I decided that I've been working with a lot of very talented artists in the games industry in the last 2 decades, and I also wanted to see more of that talent come into the crypto art scene. So it was from there that I helped some of the artists like Shelly get into the crypto art space. I also met some really talented artists there, such as Bianca and Xlvrbk. And yeah, here. Tonight, we're here to hear about the stories of these talented crypto artists.
Yeah, so thank you, Gabby. I'll be doing a short intro for each of the artists, and then we'll just jump right into sort of casual fireside discussion about the crypto art space and their journey in that space. So, so first up, we have Shelly Soneja, who is the art director for mobile and blockchain games. While she has been an artist for blockchain games since 2018, she has only started minting her own digital art as NFTs in September of 2020, while under lockdown. So she is now on a number of NFT art platforms and has her work exhibited in several galleries in the metaverse, and helps maintain and update Nara Art Gallery in Decentraland for different events and exhibits. After Shelly, we have Bianca, aka Squirterer, as her Discord and crypto Twitter handle. She's a fine artist from Mindanao, Philippines. So Bianca started getting into cryptocurrencies in the blockchain in 2018, which led her to discover NFTs in March of 2020. She's widely known as Squirterer in the crypto art space, and her work ranges from traditional and digital paintings, GIF art, and photography. She explores themes about self-exploration, identity, and human experiences and fantasies. And last, we have Xlvrbk, aka Peter, who is an experimental digital artist based in Cebu, Philippines, exploring the edges of digital art from VR, 3D, video, and sound design, and is currently experimenting with distribution of digital assets using blockchain technology through non-fungible tokens. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
So to kick things off, I'm just going to be sharing some of your artworks, and alongside the question, how did you first find out about crypto art? So to kick things off, I'd like to invite Shelly, and then, okay, hold on, I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. Alrighty, sharing. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, cool. Take it away, Shelly.
And got involved through Gary. I work for him and his company as an art director for mobile and blockchain games. So before we
just started off as a mobile games company, and then that's when I also found out about CryptoKitties and the concept of digital scarcity. And that's what really blew my mind, like about the tech and like, you know, introducing the idea of the concept of creating valuable digital items about crypto art. I thought like this is something that I really wanted to get involved in. But at that time, like back in 2018, 2019, I was just really busy with my day job. Projects that was taking up a lot of my time and my attention. So I couldn't fully get into crypto art just yet. Not until like the lockdown happened. And then I joined around September 2020. I also started doing crypto art. And like when I saw that she was also experiencing success with selling her art as NFTs, like that was like, aside from that, also like when my side gigs were more time being stuck at home during the lockdown, and I thought, you know, this is a good time for me to like dive into this. So yeah, ever since then, I've been part of like a lot of different groups, NFT artist groups and collaborations. And yeah, I'm also part of Nara Gallery. I helped set it up for different exhibits and events. And I also help with like making
Oh, okay. Thank you, Shelly. Um, Next up, we have
yes, hello.
hello. Sorry. It's just a bit of sorry. It's a bit choppy. Did you finish the question? Sorry, I didn't hear that. Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And then next up, we have Bianca, aka Squirterer. Hey, Bianca.
Hi. Hi, Chris. Hi, everyone. So I'm Bianca. I'm known as squirterer on the crypto art space. Um, I'm a traditional artist. I have a traditional art background, and I started knowing about cryptocurrencies and the blockchain back in 2018. So I was on a social media platform called Hive, and it is built on the blockchain. So I already had a few knowledge or basic idea or basic concept about the blockchain that time. And I started learning about NFTs back in 2019. Most of the NFTs that I've seen were actually game collectibles. So I wasn't really that much interested in it until my friend, who I met in crypto art space, told me, I mean, in the crypto space, told me about crypto art and artists minting NFTs. So when I first learned about the basic concept about it, it just, wow, it makes sense. So I just got fascinated and interested in it. And then since then, I started minting works on the blockchain.
Awesome. And next up, we have Peter, aka Silverback. Hey, Peter.
Hello. Hi, Chris. So I'm Peter. I go by the name Silverback in my digital art practice. So in terms of crypto, I've been in the space. I've been learning about the tech since 2012. You know, I mined Doge back in the day. I bought CryptoKitties, but you know, back then I didn't really have any capital, but it's more of like learning about the tech because I really was interested about how decentralized blockchain technology could create a more open space for people to build their whatever they want. So, and then with specifically with crypto art, I noticed it during last year's they call it the DeFi summer, when people were starting to pick up again, when crypto was starting to pick up again. I saw it on Twitter. People were posting some basically crypto art. So it was the first time I saw a lot of really good crypto art, and I was looking into it, and then I saw an opportunity for me to go and maybe start it, because with digital art, I was doing it for about a year before I started with NFTs. I started to do 3D art again for so I stopped for like a decade of like not doing any 3D, and then I heard like a Beeple interview, so I was inspired to do that again. But during 2020, when the crypto art movements really picked up its pace, I wanted to see if I could, try it out. And then I it was for just an experiment. I minted some of my works, and then a couple of weeks later, there were few sales. So I was seeing that it could be a viable way to basically exchange value for my art. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Peter. And now we're gonna jump into this fireside chat discussion together. Let me just stop sharing my screen, and there we go. And yeah, it's just gonna be casual, so feel free to jump in on questions, and we'll also be taking Q&A from the audience. And just to kickstart our discussion, I'm going to ask the question: what were some difficulties or some current difficulties in joining the crypto art space / the NFT art space?
So I'll start with that. So when I started, I didn't really have anyone. I didn't know anyone in the crypto art space. So I had to do what we call shilling, or basically marketing yourself in the crypto art space. And for me, even though I had like a background in digital art, in digital marketing, the very act of like pushing or your art was not really a natural thing for me, but I knew that I had to do it. So it was something that was kind of it was a bit it was not natural, but I knew that it was needed for to so that people could see your art. So yeah, that was one thing.
To me, since I have a traditional art background, so I paint mostly in using oil painting and on canvas. So the biggest challenge for me from the very start was to actually start getting into digital art. I already had a few digital artworks before, but since it wasn't my focus, I need to like change my focus that time. And at the same time, it's the same with Silverback. With the in terms of marketing, I didn't have any followers before, so on Twitter it was like, I don't know, maybe less than 100. So they were like, most of them were friends. So I had to work myself to be able to expose myself to other people. So that's sharing my works on Twitter and sharing my works on Maker's Place and all the other platforms. So that's for me.
think for me, when it comes to challenges and difficulties of getting into the crypto art space, I didn't really struggle. Gabby to assist. He actually is the one who helped me with minting my first NFT. And then like if there's other things that I didn't understand, I could look it up. When it comes to marketing as well, it's something that I'm used to doing, comic conventions and stuff like that. But I guess for me, my challenge, like when I get into it, is more of like the mental health aspect of it. Because when you get in there, and it's a lot of like putting yourself out there, and like sometimes that kind of pressure can get to you if you're not used to things like that, or if you can't adjust. On top of that, if you're in the space, protocols that you have to catch up with, like you feel like, oh, if I'm not tuned in into Twitter every day, every hour, I'm gonna miss something important. I'm gonna miss this big project. Oh, I'm gonna miss out on being part of this, and like, I'm gonna miss out on everything. So for me, that's like the challenge that people have to learn to adapt to, and come up with like coping strategies for getting into the crypto art space.
Thanks, Shelly. Chris, before we get into the next question, I'd like to address one question from the audience, from Katrina. So where does the NFT art trade? Is it just in the blockchain, or is there a separate exchange? Where is my NFT art stored? Okay, so I'll give a little bit of the background on, I guess, how the blockchain works. So the blockchain, think of it as an open internet computer that anyone accesses. It's public and it's permanent. So what we do when we create an NFT is that we store the artwork on what we call a non-fungible token, or a unique token on the blockchain that everyone can see. And then people can see what wallet it's coming from. So we can verify, for example, that the one who minted that NFT and put the artwork there is the artist that created it. So each of the artists has their own crypto wallet. Usually, the NFT art is minted on the Ethereum blockchain, although it's not exclusively there. But let's take Ethereum for an example. So an artist, say Bianca or Shelly, they have their own crypto wallet. They use that to create an NFT. They pay gas, which is like the fee that you use to use the blockchain. And then they put their image on the token, on the NFT, and then publish it online. Now now the token is in their wallet, but it's also, you can also see it from different platforms. So there are many different platforms such as Maker's Place or OpenSea or SuperRare. And then when somebody else buys this token, then the token, that artwork, is transferred via smart contracts, via programmatically, from the owner of the NFT to the buyer, and then the money is exchanged instantly. So one of the great things about crypto is that, its primary use case is an exchange of value, exchange of money. So when someone pays via Ether, for example, the artist that sells the work gets the money immediately. One of the other really great features about crypto art is that there is built-in royalty structure for trading the crypto art. So for example, if I buy Shelly's artwork and then I sell it to another collector, then Shelly, the artist, is actually going to get 10% of the royalties, and that's programmatic. It's enforced by the platform. So it's a great way for the artist to capture the value of their artwork. For example, I may have bought Shelly's artwork for example, 10,000 pesos. If I sell it for 1 million pesos, then she gets 10% of that. And I think that's very revolutionary for artists, because they can capture the upside of the work as they get more, I guess, popular over time.
Thanks for sharing that, Gabby, and thanks for that question, Katrina. So I'd just like to remind, a quick reminder that I forgot, is on the AFP website, we have a ton of tutorials and introductory materials that also link to deeper source materials. So please use it as a resource to sort of navigate this crypto art space. And we do have a NFT quest of sorts where you just have to complete a few simple tasks, which basically include setting up a wallet and going to Gabby's and Colin's gallery into Centraland and taking a screenshot with you or with you and your friends visiting Nara Gallery into Centraland. So just throwing that out there. We will choose around 50 people to airdrop or send the NFT to their wallets when the fair ends.
Yeah, we're sending an artwork, an exclusive artwork that Bianca created for the art fair.
And I guess, some of you guys, some of y'all mentioned Twitter and shilling. And before we get into that, like Shelly, I just wanted to add to your point. Thank you so much for sharing that regarding, mental health. And, it is a extremely tough time. We're still in the middle of a global pandemic. And yeah, the crypto art space can be quite brutal because it's just going so fast. And I think from the last few months, from December till now, even just like 5 months, it's been so fast. It feels like years actually. But yeah, I just wanted to ask you guys, like, how important is shilling and Twitter?
How do you promote yourselves as an artist?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, I'll start.
We share our works. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
We just, I mean, for me as someone who doesn't have any marketing background and just learn from observation and experience, I just sometimes I announce a drop like probably days before, and then sometimes I just share my work in an instant. And sometimes you also need to be very engaged with the community and make friends with them. And at the same time, Twitter is also just not just the only platform available. There's also Discord accounts and sometimes Clubhouse even. And we engage there, and we make friends there. So that's two of the ways.
So yeah, to just mirror Bianca's uh, ideas, that and you have to be engaging with the community. I think that's the most important part, and the community is on Twitter. So that's why we are on Twitter and also on Discord. So there are different Discords. Usually, once you start to engage with the community in Twitter, you either get invited or you can find the links of the discourse there. I think also for me personally, I like to be able to have a personal um, connection with people who buy my art. So I think that's also in terms of in Twitter, you have your direct messages. So it's not just necessarily just putting up your work, but also having that it's just I think it's even greater than like in traditional art markets because you have a direct connection right away with the buyers, so you can really just talk to them with, like, for me, I talk to like buyers whatever things that we are interested in. So it's not necessarily just like hard selling your work, because it probably will turn off like collectors and buyers. It's more because they're buying you as an artist, so you have to put up your like what your ideas are and what value you can give as an artist. So instead, I mean, I guess it changed. It changed during the, past 5 hours, like, this past few months of how you present yourself. Like, um, at the start, I was really like pushing and pushing my works, but now it's more of pushing my ideas instead. Okay, yeah. So
I'd like to add something here as a collector. So I've been collecting the art of just a lot of artists, and it's not just about buying a pretty picture that resonates with you, although that is a huge part of it. I'm looking for the narrative of, what is the story behind this artwork? What's the story of the artist? Are they someone who is really looking to be here in the crypto art scene in the long run? Will they still be here like 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from now? Will they have a long career in the crypto art space? So when I buy an artwork, of course, I have to love it. Like it's something that has to resonate with me. But I also view it as I'm investing in the career of an artist. So, that goes for Shelly and Bianca's art I've collected. For me, buying their artworks now is me kind of investing in their career, believing that they will be kind of very relevant crypto artists in the global art scene. And yeah, it's just supporting them and being a small part of that, helping them gain, I guess, wider visibility among collectors. And that's what I guess the best thing here about the crypto art scene is that you do have a direct relationship with the artists as a collector, if you choose to do so, of course. And yeah, I talk a lot with the artists that I collect. A lot of them I also help promote and gain wider attention among different collectors. For example, Shelly is part of a NARA curated drop we have on Nifty Gateway that is happening at the end of this week. So yeah, it's really fun just having that direct connection with the artist, and it's a symbiotic relationship where you don't just buy the art, you're actually helping each other.
Awesome. Thanks, Gabby. Yeah, I mean, I would say in this space too, as like a collector, but also observing the ecosystem, it's also okay just to approach it slow and explore. However, it's also sometimes it can be quite obvious in terms of people coming in for a quick cash grab. That was a lot of sentiment that I experienced when I actually exhibited some NFTs at Art Dubai, including Peter's work, and a lot. It just there's such a frenzy right now, so it's definitely hard to sort of navigate that. But so the next question I wanted to ask was, what
Can
about
I
the
add something
space?
to that?
Oh yeah, please, please go ahead, Shelly.
So you mentioned about like how sometimes there's these big celebrities who try to make drops, and then how Bianca and Peter talk about how it's but when you see like, so there'll be an initial excitement like when the celebrities come in and they make their drops, but then like after they drop it, it's like they don't connect with the community at all, and then they don't do like, so that's not the way to go. So you really have to like immerse yourself into the community, understand the tech, like not just the collectors but with fellow artists. I feel like I found the most success with that, like just genuinely, yeah, make an event about your drop too, like because there's no middleman. You do your own marketing, like you schedule your drops, like and you have your friend, like when you make genuine connections with other people, they'll be the ones to help you also spread the word. So yeah, be genuine, be friendly, connect with the community. That's the key.
Oh yeah, and you guys, y'all been mentioning community, and I do believe that we have the Crypto PH Discord invite link on the AFP website. If not, just look up hashtag CryptoPH on Twitter. And I think you might be able to find some sort of link into the Crypto PH sort of Discord. You know, I think we might just tweet it out. Maybe we should just tweet it out after this, guys, in terms of uh, the Discord invite link or something. So some of the audience members could find their way into the Crypto Art PH community. So next up is what about the space has made a difference in your lives? Because it seems so, I think for some people I've talked to, it's like, what? Like, how does, you know, is this real? You know, even though the global hype, there's still that sort of disbelief in terms of, can you actually make a living doing crypto, or at least, you know, not even make a living, can you supplement your income with crypto art?
In terms of finances, it actually helped me a lot. Like, say for example, when I had my sales, I was able to buy an iPad Pro. I was able to invest in a pen tablet or an iPad Pro exactly, which it was I mean, buying an iPad Pro was really my very goal since 2018. And it's just because of crypto art, I was able to buy it, and it's like it was the dream. And earning for your art, earning from your art is just a dream of everyone. And when it comes to my works, it actually, or like the community actually helped me a lot with motivation, and at the same time it encouraged me a lot to explore different mediums. Like, say for example, I started with still, or like GIF photography, and then I leveled up to digital paintings, and then digital GIF paintings. So it was really fun to see yourself grow in that way. And yeah.
So the question was about earnings, right?
Yeah, earnings, or if
I'm
there's
sorry,
been
it's a
the
bit choppy on
impact.
my end.
No worries. Earnings, or if there's been an impact, some sort of financial impact from participating in the space.
Okay. Like, so for me, I like to give like a little bit of context. I would like, it was always been a dream of mine, like to be able to make good money out of my own art. Like, you know, like that's the ultimate dream. Like, people will buy my art for my own vision. To art, what I would do is that I would be going to comic conventions. I would be spending on like expensive booth costs, and on top of that, I would be spending also on printing my merch. So all that. So all those expenses add up. But even if I did all that and like I marketed them online and everything, like I really hustled for it, I wouldn't even break even for me before crypto art. So it always felt like this pipe dream that would like not materialize anytime soon. But then like when I got into crypto art, like it was like pay me for my vision, for my art, you know, my own original art, you know. Like it's not just fan art, it's not just art that's, you know, connected to a brand or anything like that. It's just my I have a full-time job, but the earnings that I've gotten crypto art like really help supplement my income. Like I've had like loved ones who have struggled because of the lockdown, and then I could have financial security, like if in case there was any emergency, like with my family or loved ones, like I know that I have that security that I can help them out. And on top of that, I also helped at my dad's hometown. This was Typhoon Goni, Raleigh. I forgot the name, but this was a typhoon back in September that hit Bicol. And then I managed to raise funds, also chipped in. And then we managed to raise like a lot of money for relief efforts. And then I gave 100% of that to charity. So it's just really amazing. So yeah, it really did give a big impact, like for me.
So for me, um, so to be honest, I've almost given up with an art career. So I've done like a few like shows with like Chris's gallery in Cebu back in the day. But honestly, for the longest time, I've just been doing art for like a personal, just for personal, because I tried to not do art, but I couldn't, so I had to do art. And then when the crypto art space happened, when I started to join and realized that I could, there was an exchange of value for my work. Personally, that was very fulfilling in terms of like there's validation for your work. But the other thing, not just for like getting like money, but like it was having the ability to actually have an impact on basically on your area. I could see that there was a possibility for artists to have basically like FU money. So like I could see that it is a way that artists could actually change their environment. For me personally, with my art, my previous NFT that was bought by uh, Tropical Futures Institute, half of it, more than half of it, I gave for native tree planting, because for me personally, it is a uh, passion of mine to actually help with the environment. So actually, I could see that it was a way for me to raise capital for just basically um, helping with local my I passionate with my local environment, and it was a way for me to do that. And also, yeah, I was able to upgrade my my 2009 MacBook with a new one, so that was great.
Thanks. Let me add some perspective to this as a collector who pays for the NFTs that a lot of these artists create. So with a single artwork, typically collectors would probably pay more than the amount that most digital artists that are employed would earn in a single month. So that's with a single artwork. I've known of artists that have probably sold a single artwork that would be upwards of 100,000 pesos per sale. And yeah, I've known of Filipino artists that have earned somewhere between probably 1 to 10 million pesos in the last year. So of course, it's not like that for everyone. And the people that have done success have really worked hard, not only in honing their craft, but also talking to the people in the community, showing that they're here to stay, building a relationship with collectors. But yeah, I guess my message is that it's not just the big international artists like the Beeples and the Packs that are making good money. The Filipino artists that are really showing their talent and showing their work, they're also making pretty good money for themselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks for adding that, Gabby. And just on top of your point, yeah, there's also, just like a disclaimer too, there is like also misconception that, just because you enter the NFT space, there's going to be some sort of, it's going to change like dramatically. There's still all the challenges that you would experience in the traditional art world. However, it is mapped over more into a digital context, and there's like there's a different ecosystem, there's a different collector base, there's a different aesthetic value system. And we can see that in a lot of the artwork that's been sold, artwork in the past that I would say, like, in terms of new media or digital art, it's been amazing. Like in 2020 and 21, there's been so much digital work that has been sold, and digital artists for the first time in their lives, or new media artists especially, being able to sell work. But yeah, with that being said, just disclaimer, it's not just because you mint an NFT or enter the space. It's definitely changed a lot with the global hype. It's a lot tougher. And I would say, you know, the panel here have all been early adopters, and in the Crypto PH Discord server, the Crypto Art PH Discord server have been, like, I would say OG members of the Crypto Art PH community. But with that being said, I just wanted to hop into a question somewhat related to that is, have you brought in any other creatives into the crypto art space, and how has that process been? I know you've done that a lot, Gabby. You've been onboarding tons of artists and creatives, which is amazing. So maybe you could share about that, Gabby, and so, you know, everyone else, just feel free to chime in on that experience as well.
Sure. So when the first NFT art boom started, probably around August last year, that's when I started collecting very actively. At one point, I was buying art almost every day. And I noticed that I was buying the artwork of a lot of artists from, you know, Latin America. There's, of course, US. There were a few from Southeast Asia. There's actually a lot of really good artists from Latin America that we work with. And of course, Western countries, Europe. But I noticed that there was a real lack of Filipino artists. And yeah, that was pretty surprising to me, because I've worked with a lot of Filipino artists, you know, as a game development studio in almost 20-year career. Bianca was there, Skipper Gemex was there. Funnily enough, two of them are from Mindanao. But yeah, like I tried really to onboard more artists and reached out to my artist friends who were interested. So two of them I reached out to that have made their mark now, Shelly and Caroline D. There are a few more people, some of them in this audience, that I also helped kind of bring into the crypto art space. And yeah, this was the time before a lot of people really understood or even knew what an NFT was. This was before like it started being in the news. And yeah, I'd like to think that these artists, you know, those that really took the time to kind of figure out, learn the community, figure out the technology. I think, yeah, it's really made a mark on their careers. It's really changed the way they think about selling the art, where it doesn't just have to be physical art that's valued now because of the digital scarcity of the blockchain. A piece of art online can be valued just as much as a physical work of art. And yeah, we really like to kind of continue and helping more artists get into crypto art space. So yeah, really quickly. So one of the ways that we were doing this is that a month ago we started what we call the First Mint Fund. So firstmintfund.com, and it's a fund that helps Southeast Asian artists mint their first NFT. So if you go to firstmintfund.com, you see that we've helped several artists mint their first NFT. Some of them have been gotten to be kind of pretty famous in the community, especially Sevi, who's an 8-year-old boy with autism, whose work has been really popular in the crypto art space. So if you're an artist that's looking to get into crypto art, please go to firstmintfund.com. You can apply there. It's managed by AJ Dimarukot. And the great thing about it is that it also accepts donations from people who would want to see other artists succeed. So Colin and I seeded it with around 100,000 pesos a month ago. And through the donations, and even as we paid for the minting costs of other artists, there's actually more than 1 million pesos, like close to 1.5 million pesos in that fund to help artists pay for their minting fees for their first NFT.
Oh yeah.
You're still muted, Chris.
Oh. For Sevi, he will, just a quick interjection, he will be one of the artists alongside Silverback, Shelly, and Bianca that will be part of Art Fair PH NFT drop. But yeah, please, everyone else, feel free to chime in on, have you been able to, or have you onboarded other creatives into the space?
I'll start with that. Since 2018, since I was active in a high platform, in a social media platform, I tried to onboard my artist friends as well. That time, for them to post, to just be a content creator and just post their process, post their art, for them to be able to uh, earn cryptocurrency with that. And it was a struggle for me personally, because I think because most of my friends were traditional artists, and like I don't know, it's kind of like they get discouraged with the cryptocurrency or the blockchain. So yeah, it was really a struggle for me to onboard people. And then in 2020, I had a friend also. She's also a fine artist. She's a batchmate of mine. And then we got onboarded at the same time, but I was more into the blockchain and she was more into, like, the traditional system. So I was just there to help her with all of the terms, all of the process, and everything that she needs to know. I was there to guide her. So yeah, I think that's just it. And if there's anyone who's asking me how to get into crypto art, I just send them some links, like OpenSea links, on how to become an NFT artist, and then I just send them some YouTube links, and at the same time, um, I try my best to explain to them what the blockchain does and why it's important. So yeah, that's just it for me.
Yeah. So for me, I've tried for just a few times already to onboard artist friends. I've pushed them for first mint fund, but there hasn't been anyone who's pushed through. Maybe it's just because it's very complicated, and I realized when I visited an artist friend in my grandmother's hometown. It's like a few hours from the city of Cebu City. Um, he has a real following in the Philippine art scene, and I realized that a face-to-face interaction is really one of the important things, because when we're just chatting and all this, it's really hard to explain how this is a very important, or basically a game changer within the um, the whole art uh, market. So um, so I've already planned out maybe by next week. I think we're gonna be doing um, basically a workshop for high school kids to explain what NFTs are. So I think that's one thing. Since because of the pandemic, we can't really like meet up. Thankfully in Cebu, where there's more of we have like loosened the all the restrictions, so we can actually meet up. So we're gonna plan out around next week. I'm gonna go back to my grandmother's hometown. We're gonna set up a NFT workshop for the high school kids there. So, yeah.
Um,
Chris, I want to quickly answer a couple of questions.
yeah.
Yeah, so from Christina, if I'm a potential buyer and interested in NFTs, how do you enjoy the art? So the primary way to enjoy it is online. You can go to OpenSea and take a look at the art that is that is in your wallet, or you can go to the websites like Maker's Place where you bought them and then enjoy them there. I do have a digital art frame called Canva where I upload my digital artwork. So yeah, it looks like an art frame, and then I can cycle the different artwork. So there is a way to enjoy it physically as well. And then the second one I want to address real quick, having the need to connect to the community. How do you succeed as a crypto artist but stay anonymous? So one of the, I guess, most celebrated artists, Pac, he's actually an anonymous artist with kind of a long career in digital art, but he's never revealed his name. If you ask him where he's from, his answer is the internet. When he's gone into meetings and then has had to speak, he uses the kind of the voice filter so that you cannot hear the real voice. So as long as you have a pseudonymous account or anonymous account, you can show what you're about and you can show your artwork. It's actually very possible to succeed in the crypto art scene without anyone knowing who you really are in the physical world.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess the next question is somewhat related to some of the questions we have in chat, like is gas, how much are usually the gas fees? And there are some questions about different platforms. So I would like to steer it into the direction of, are you exploring different blockchains outside of Ethereum? Because just to answer the question about gas fees, gas can be expensive. Even now with recent upgrades in the Ethereum network, and gas has been reduced greatly in the last few weeks because of a network upgrade. It can still run anywhere in like 1,000 to 2,000, even more in pesos. So, but there are other blockchains like Tezos, but yeah. So, are you all exploring other blockchains for NFTs?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, I'm also on Hive, the social media platform that I mentioned earlier. It actually has no fees, like zero fees for transfers, but you will only pay for the platform fees. That's just probably 20 pesos. So that's 5 Hive. And the others I haven't explored yet. So Silverback.
So yeah, So when I started, the gas was about maybe around 200 pesos. It was really pretty. You could just mint a lot,
That's
but
cheap, man. 200 pesos. Wow.
yeah, 200 to like 400. I think that was like that. That was during last year. But now, the reason really, I'm also in the Tezos network with Hick and Nonk and Calamint, because of the gas fees really. And I realized that there are a lot of interesting artworks there, and then you can collect the artworks there. So that's one thing that I really enjoy, was to have that ability to collect the artists' for works, in especially in the Tezos network. So I've been looking into that, and also we're gonna be doing a Ik et Nong exclusive show with Filipino artists. I'm gonna be announcing it like maybe tonight, but there's gonna be around 10 or 11 artists, and it's gonna be in I have a Somnium Space artist grant for it's in VR, so there's gonna be a space. It's similar to the NAR gallery, where they can go there. The show's gonna open up around May 12th probably. So I'll just keep posted in that. I'll announce it soon.
Yeah, maybe we can also help amplify that event through the AFPL. Yeah, our social media channels as well.
You're muted, Chris.
Oh, thank you. I know this talks about art, but I would like to steer the direction toward, just for a brief moment, towards NFT games. Just because there has been a crossover between games and art for a long time now. And that I think that crossover has become more and more apparent. And you know, uh, you know, Gabby's really low key about it, but he's responsible for one of the largest, most famous NFT gaming platforms in the world. He's actually very sought after in the space. So I don't know, like I just want to hear everyone's opinion on NFTs in relation to games and what that means in terms of like that sort of narrative or future. Just because there is a lot of crossover, and I think maybe talking about games might also give a different perspective into the importance of NFTs.
Okay, so I guess NFTs in general, it's not limited to crypto art. So you can put any kind of media on an NFT, and then you can use it in different ways. So how games use it is that your game items, for example, your sword, your land inside a game, it can be an NFT, and then you can use this inside different games. So there's a lot of different interesting applications of NFTs. It can even be that, for example, you create a piece of crypto art, and then that crypto art is usable inside the game. So this is what really excites me about NFTs. If you watched Ready Player One, or even better, if you read the book, it talks about building this metaverse, which is this online persistent world that goes across different worlds, different games, different virtual places. And yeah, I believe that this is where we're headed. You know, we're spending more and more time in front of our screens, especially with the lockdown in the last year. And I think it's only a matter of time before we are, there's a fully fleshed out virtual world that we can spend a lot of time in, playing games, earning money, creating our artwork, creating digital clothing for our avatars. Yeah, this is the future that we are headed in.
Yeah, personally, that also excites me because, like Gabby mentioned, you can, for example, you're playing CS:GO or like Counter-Strike Source, and then you want to own skins. What if your account gets hacked? I don't know, maybe it will vanish in an instant. But with the blockchain, you can own that, and no one can steal it from you unless they have your seed phrase. But that's just, I think, one of the exciting things about owning something in gaming.
Yeah, so I guess we have a question from the audience. How long does the minting process take? And we did cover like some of the costs briefly, but what are the pros and cons of either selling limited editions, or putting up one of ones, and then they also ask, or putting it up for bidding. So I guess the first question is, how long does the minting process take? And the second question is like, what are the pros and cons of these different types of sales mechanics on the platforms?
Like for me, like when it comes to like making editions versus like for me, when I first started, I would do multi editions. It's because, I'm new in this space, and I felt like, it was important to get your work into the hands of as making yourself more known, and then they can like, own your art. Obviously this is not like the only strategy that you can take, but this is what's worked for multi editions when you're still new. And then you could gradually work up to like doing 1:1s, or if you feel like it's a very special piece to you, or you can make that into a 1:1. I think also when you do bidding, it's also a good way to find out perhaps like how much people are willing to spend for your piece. Obviously not the only answer to it, but I usually, when people enter the space, like what I recommend to them is that they start with doing multi-editions that are affordable. They're cheaper, as opposed to like if you do fewer editions or 1:1s, those are the ones that are more scarce, so they're priced higher.
Yeah, for me, I think there's no like real game plan yet on how to do it. So it's really just an you have to really experiment, because I think it's different for different artists also, and your work might not be really um, might not be popular for a wider audience. So it might you have to probably make like do 1:1s. For me personally, I do like a sort of I do most of my 1:1s right now. This is my the way I do it is 1:1s in Ethereum, and then more multi editions on Tezos network, because it's cheaper, and then like it's more. That's where like I could do like a mass audience drop, and more for really for collectors, and in the Ethereum network. Yeah, so I still have a few, as Shelly did when she started. I still have like a few multi editions in my Rarible, so there's still when this it's still there. It's in the Ethereum network also, so I still have a few of those in my Rarible. So, but yeah, I think it's really just since the space is still relatively new, there is no exact game plan on how to go about it. But I think there's no exact game plan with any artist, or even in the traditional art market. So it's really just I think part of the practice is also, because you are a crypto artist. These are crypto assets. The part of the practice is figuring out how to actually sell to the market. Yeah. So.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. I think there is a question from the audience. Where is it? What is your response to when people say that NFTs are a fad? Because there's no denying the current cycle has been insane in terms of this run up. I think when Tricky approached us a few months ago, what's it called? The space was a lot more. It was slower. It wasn't so crazy. But as the price of other cryptocurrencies and have risen, there's definitely been this whole sort of boom in international hype. So yeah, so the question again is, what is your response to when people say that NFTs are a fad?
Okay, I'll take this. As someone who's been in NFTs since 2018, I've been there since it was really unpopular, and now they're really popular. I liken this to the internet boom in the late 90s, wherein the internet got out and a lot of experiments happened. A lot of websites were put up and got funding in the late 1990s, which are not around today. But you also have some of the most enduring companies that came out, like Amazon, like Google. I see blockchain, cryptocurrency in general, and NFT specifically, it's the same way. Not all of the NFTs you buy today probably will be relevant 10, 15 years from now. But NFTs itself as a sector, as a category, and crypto art itself, it's going to be here to stay, especially more and more that people are living their lives digitally. It's important for us to be able to own the things that we own, that we have in the digital world, and the way to own that with scarcity, proving that it's yours, is via NFTs. So for me personally, I'm taking a long view. I don't really care that NFTs are hot now, or maybe they're not that hot next month. Yeah, I'll be here for at least the next 10 years, probably more than that.
Yeah, to add to that, like when people think about NFTs, they would just think it's about art or games, but I feel like cases that we've talked about here, like art, games and all, but it also has applications in the real world with like documentation or medical records. There's still so much that we haven't so I feel like there's still so much more to do with it. Even if it's a fad or whatever, it's definitely here to stay. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Anyone else want to add to that, or?
For me, when I hear people say that it is a fad, I do understand that they see it that way, because people are, or like the media is very focused on the sales, or like how much it got sold with. But to me, honestly, I really see it as our future. And I really see it, I like, just like for example in traditional galleries, I see it as galleries having these NFTs as a general procedure to, for them to record sales, to record data. And just like Shelly said, there's a lot of use cases for it. So I really think that this is just the beginning, and whether the craze will, or like the hype will die down, it will still stay. It will still be here, and we will really use it in the future.
Yeah, so for me, it's since I've been interested in the tech so since like 2012, so I've been looking at the blockchain technologies for a long time. I see that it is really it's here to stay as long as there's the internet. If I mean, if you know, if there's no internet, there's no more NFTs. But as long as it's there, it's gonna be, we're gonna have crypto art, NFTs, and the blockchain. So yeah.
Awesome. We're wrapping up shortly. We have about, I guess, 10 more minutes. But there's been a number of questions that sort of fall into the same sort of category, which is related to aesthetics and medium. And the questions are basically like, do animated work specifically than static images? Besides visual and digital art, what other types of art have huge potential? Or what type of art sells more in crypto? So I guess the question is like, what sort of art moves in crypto? I mean, I would just like to add into that. I think it's just obviously it's always cool to have digital art first, but I think it's just like anywhere else. There, it's sort of like whatever you're producing, it's. But I don't know. Actually, I'm not an artist, so I can't really comment on that. But I've just noticed that people just make whatever they want to make. Um, yeah, feel free to chime in, everyone.
Yeah, currently I see there's a trend in 3D, or like it's very hot right now. And then the other ones are animated paintings, digital paintings, and still images. But I have also seen performance art. There's this one artist that mints, her name is Anna, but I forgot the last name. She mints her performance piece along with her, what do you call that, VR in tilt brush. So uh aside from that, there's also music. And I also heard that someone is really interested with minting a recipe. So you put something that you're gonna put some recipe, and then there's an unlockable feature that only the owners can unlock it. So they will see, that's the time that they will see the recipe. So I think it's just a matter of being creative in this space. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think it's I don't think yeah, as Chris would say, like there's as Chris said, there like people are just doing what they want, and like if they find an audience, they find an audience. And I mean, there are people who actually like would try to make art for like crypto, like the crypto art space, like making like Ethereum logos and all that. It's a personal choice. Yeah, for me, it's just usually it's be honest with yourself, and most likely it's for me, I do the art. It sounds corny, but it's like it's not. I don't do it for the money. I was here before like crypto art. I was doing art before crypto art was here. So really, I just really want to do the things that I want to do, and it's great that I can be funded for doing like more ridiculous art. Because, like for example, like doing VR art, the like yeah, I was able to upgrade my rig so I could do VR art, and really, it's just about it's great that the things that I want to do in terms of art can basically I can now afford to actually go and do it because of crypto art.
Awesome. So we have, I get, we have a couple more minutes, and there's one question about, there's no way skirting around this, and I think we should address it. The ecological impact of NFTs. And, you know, we mentioned Tezos earlier, which is a much more eco-friendly blockchain, but I'd like you guys to come in and also just, share your thoughts briefly on this whole discourse about the ecological impacts.
Yeah, I'll start. There's been a lot of misconceptions around the environmental impact with NFTs. A lot of it is because people are looking at, I guess, how much energy that blockchains consume, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, without looking at context. So, for example, um, all of the Ethereum network, it does consume a lot of energy, but it's actually not that different from, for example, a big company like Facebook or Google that has their own server farms that they're using for all of the computing that they're doing, right? The big difference with blockchains is that it's a general purpose computer that anyone in the world can use, and the primary use for it is decentralized finance technology, where people are sending money around, they're moving value, and one of the use cases just happens to be NFTs. So minting an NFT itself is going to be negligible in terms of, I would say, environmental impact. The blockchain is going to be there whether you mint an NFT or not. And even then, it's actually not that different from you using the servers of Facebook or Instagram or Google for what you're doing. So that said, as Chris mentioned earlier, there is a move to move away towards away from proof of work, which is very heavy on electricity, and towards proof of stake, which uses basically money as a way to secure the chain. And this is a bit more environmental friendly option that blockchains like Ethereum are moving towards. Chains like Tezos are already there. So yeah, so I would say that there's been a lot of media narrative around the ecological impact, which is pretty much misstated, because it doesn't really compare the energy cost of you creating a physical artwork, going to a conference, or the other things that you are doing with your art.
For me, uh, there was like the start of like February when artists were being attacked for NFT artists were being attacked for minting art in the Ethereum network, especially because of like a lot of articles that as Gabby said were really overhyping the impact of NFTs in the Ethereum network. And I mean, it was really sad to see like digital artists attacking other digital artists. But aside from that, for me personally, even when I know that even that since I have an impact on the ecology, personally, like what I did before with my previous NFT, when as I've said before, that I gave half of the sales to plant native trees. So a lot of other artists, since the ecological impact has been brought up, have been doing this. So like a lot of other platforms have also been putting up like trying to do like carbon credits. Personally, I do not support like carbon credits, but it's a personal thing in terms of like ecology. I want to actually like support really like people doing ecology in their local area. So, but it's besides the point. It's really just about like you can use the capital that you get from crypto art, which is like a negligible impact on the whole, like the whole carbon footprint. And that's another story about like emphasizing carbon. I mean, I can like talk about like how this is really just misplaced, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, to basically there is a misplaced hype in terms of like the ecological impact, and also that you can use your you personally as an artist, you can actually use this to change your environment.
Awesome. Just sorry, we have to, on that note, we do have to wrap. And I would like to add that there is an eco NFT section on the Art Fair Philippines website where we do link a guide from GitHub from the artist Sterling Crispin, or is it Kim Lawton? I think it's Sterling Crispin, who was it Sterling? But anyways, they launched the crypto art what the WTF website almost, and they actually retracted that statement. And
that's
go ahead, Shelly.
the name of the author of the crypto art. What the fuck is Memo Atkins.
Oh, Memo Atkins. Okay. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, so we do have a section where we list different eco-friendly blockchains, and there is a guide from GitHub. But yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and taking, and I'd like to thank all the panelists as well for sharing your stories with the AFP audience. Yeah, and I think I think Tricky is going to hop on here. But yeah, Gabby, do you have any closing notes?
No, off to Tricky.
Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, personally, I'm ready to hop off to discord.ph right now. But thanks a lot. Okay, before we end, the talks team is saying we have to stay for one photo, because if we were actually in the art fair, we would come up on stage and take one group photo. So please stay on and smile for 2 minutes. Sorry, audience, you're going to have to witness this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I hope they've taken a picture. Thanks a lot again. That was super. Thank you for joining us here. We'd like to remind everybody to please check the Art Fair Philippines website. With the help of Chris, Gabby, and Colin, we put together a comprehensive guide on the blockchain and on NFTs, and there are NFT drops there also. So thank you so much. I would like to invite everybody to come join us tomorrow. The NFT 101 showcase continues. There was art before NFTs, and Chris will be talking to Harm van der Dorpel of Left Gallery about early blockchain art. And we will be seeing Gabby with Chris and Colin Goltra again for a tour of Nara Gallery, the virtual gallery in the Central Land. So we hope you guys join us for that.